In this video, I'm going to share with you the top 5 things you need to worry about to help you avoid failing at Amazon right from the get-go. Stay tuned. What's up, fellow drivers? This is your boy David Liggins with No Rep Limits. For those of you who are new to the channel and just subscribed, welcome. I appreciate you supporting my channel. On this particular channel, we're going to be talking about my journey through Amazon FBA. So I'm just going to open up the doors to my business, help you understand some of my challenges and my successes, and really just help you along with my journey. So if you're interested about selling online or getting into Amazon FBA, you have a good source of information for somebody who's in the grassroots, who's doing it right now. All right, guys. Some of you may already know, but I've been selling on Amazon for about 1.5 years. I've had 2 brands. I'm currently sourcing products for either my first or second brand, or maybe even creating a 3rd brand. But throughout this journey, I've definitely made some mistakes, and I do not want you to make the same mistakes I've made. So let's get started. Mistake number 1 that I've made, guys, product research. I can't stress to you how important product research is. And I know, for a lot of the content that you see, product research, we know it's the most important thing. Or maybe you don't, but I'm telling you, it is one of the most important things to get right in order for you to pretty much improve your success on Amazon FBA when you start. If you do product research wrong, you've already failed. Simple as that. Your product is just not going to sell well, or you're going to spend a lot of money trying to move your product that's not going to sell well, or you're going to get into a competitive niche or a competitive market, or find a product that's really oversaturated. These are really important, and you have to make sure you understand the data that different tools are telling you so you can make these informed decisions. Okay, guys? So one thing I know that people talk about is paralysis analysis. Okay, and if you don't know what that is, that's pretty much you have all this information, you have all this data, but you don't know what to do with it. So you're just churning your wheels, you're spinning your tires, and you're just not really getting anywhere, and you're getting exhausted with product research. Guys, I completely and 100% understand where you're coming from. But if you rush product research, you're going to fail. It is simple as that. You're going to get into products that are just not going to do well for you, and ultimately you're going to waste money, and that's what I'm trying to help you avoid. So anyways, make sure you look at your resources, or if you're interested in courses, or just follow the content, but make sure you just understand what you're looking at, what products you're looking at before you pull the trigger and buy these products, else you will fail. And a couple quick tips here: do not do look-alike products and me-too products. These are just not going to do well. You have to differentiate yourself. You have to add value when you're selecting your product, okay? There's a tons of videos about this. I'm actually going to be going through a process of sourcing more products here in the next couple of months with this new program that I'm with Seller Systems. So stay tuned for that. But guys, product research is definitely important. All right, so the second mistake that I've made is sourcing your product. So after you found your product, you verified the numbers, you understand these trends, the product looks like you can differentiate from yourself in the market, you have an audience that you can target. These are all the things you need to worry about. Now it's time to source that product, okay? So one of the things that you need to worry about when sourcing the product is, 1, finding a quality manufacturer, somebody you can trust who's going to give you a good quality product, okay? Somebody who's willing to differentiate your product for you. So if you need to make improvements on this product from all the research you've done, adding value, you're able to do this, okay? Communication. If you can't communicate with your supplier, it's going to be extremely difficult to be able to articulate and help them understand what it is that you want, okay? And also, once you have found these things, the cost of the product. I can't stress to you how important this is, okay? You make your money when you source your product, okay? Let me help you understand that. Because if you buy the product at the wrong price, you automatically set yourself up for failure, okay? Your margins are going to be completely too small. You're not going to be able to advertise the way you want to. You're not going to be able to push the product. You're not going to be able to do giveaways if that's the method that you want to choose, because things are going to be so expensive. So you must make sure you source the product at the reasonable price that makes sense. I'll be talking about what makes sense in future videos, but a quick tip here, because I want to add value, is, for example, I'd like to follow either a fourth or third rule. And what that means is, let's say that my product is a selling price of $10, okay? Quick caveat. Reason why I'm starting off with selling price is because Amazon as a marketplace is a price-based costing marketplace. And what I mean by that is, this is the price that you can sell it for. So that means in order for this to be viable, you need to source the product at a certain cost, okay? Price-based costing. If you flip it on its head, cost-based pricing, which will set you up for failure. You say, hey, my product costs this much. In order for me to make profit, I need to sell it at this much. That is the 100% wrong way, incorrect way to look at this when you're looking at Amazon. Start off with your selling price, because this is how you're going to make yourself competitive in the marketplace, and then figure out what you need to source the product at as a cost in order for you to be profitable, okay? So it's price-based costing. So for the example, going back to the numbers, let's say that my selling price on Amazon is $10. I like to use the quarter rule or the third rule. At a minimum, I want the third rule, meaning that I need to have a landed cost of $3 or less, right? So if you multiply by 3, 6, 9. I know 10 is a little bit over 9, but just to give you a little bit of example in the ballpark, I want to source this product for $3 or less. Landed cost. That means all my fees, shipping, to get it to Amazon's warehouse needs to be $3 or less. Because after that, you have to factor in the Amazon fees for pick, pack, and ship, okay? So this is going to cost you a little bit of money. So you're going to source your product for $3 or less, a minimum of $4 depending on what category and the weight of your product. So now you're at $7. So if you're selling a $10 product, that means you're only profiting $3, okay? So $3 over $10, 30%, that is your margin, 30%. Some may think that's okay, depending on what you're doing. Some may think that's low, but it's very important to understand those numbers, because now you only have 30% of margin to play with. So $3 profit means that if you're running PPC, marketing, any other expenses that may come up, you only have really $3 to play with before you lose money out on that acquisition of that customer, okay? I know this is a little bit advanced, but you really have to understand this. Now, on the quarter rule, the same exact principle. If I was selling for $10, I want to source my product for $2.50 or less, okay? So for me, I really like the quarter rule. If I can do landed cost of $2.50 for a $10 product, I do feel like I'm in the ballpark, especially when fees are going to be added up, all right? So make sure you truly understand that. That's the second one, guys. Sourcing your product at the right price and from the right people. All right. So mistake number 3, okay? So one of the big things that I made a mistake on when I first started, selling on Amazon was overspending on PPC, Amazon's pay-per-click program, okay? These are also called your sponsored ads. Now they have headline search ads, for example, okay? Guys, let me tell you, you can blow through all of your money and all of your profit quickly if you do this incorrectly, okay? I know a lot of experienced sellers or gurus may tell you, blast it, get all your keyword information, make sure you understand it, just do it quick, get all the information as fast as possible so you can refine. That is one strategy, but you can do that without just spending hundreds of dollars every day. You can still get information, but the key here is you need to be patient. This doesn't happen overnight. You need a week or even 2 weeks of data before you can start making decisions on what is profitable and what is not, okay? So PPC can make or break your business. And many times if you do this incorrectly, it will break your business. So one of the things that I like to do is kind of start off medium, okay? Not at the rock bottom, but not super aggressive, but medium, okay? And work my way up as I get some data, okay? And so in the previous example, one of the things that I want to give you as far as a tip, in the previous example, let's say that we're selling a product for $10, that's our selling price, okay? For every unit that we sell, we make $3 in profit, okay? That's a 30% margin. Now, what you can do is making sure that when you start leveraging PPC to get more visibility, especially when you launch products and then playing defense for a particular niche for that search term, you need to make sure that your cost of advertising is 30% or lower in most cases, okay? There are some more detailed strategies, some more advanced strategies here, but just to start off, you need to make sure that you're break even or better, okay? So you want to maximize those sales. So you want to make sure that your ACoS is 30% or lower, okay? Now, a lot of people come out here and brag, oh, I have an 8% ACoS, I have a 10% ACoS, 15% ACoS. That's good, but what we want to do when we're running PPC, we're just trying to rank for those search terms, okay guys? We want as many sales for those important search terms as possible. So if I can raise my ACoS from 13 to 15% up to 30%, I'm going to be getting more sales. You hope, right? You need to make sure that makes sense. Just because you raise your ACoS and you're spending more doesn't mean you're getting more sales. But if you could scale where you can actually hit your margin or lower and get more sales, that's going to help you rank, and that's going to be incredibly important for your future success on Amazon FBA. All right, guys, so now we're getting towards the end. I'm hoping you find this valuable so far. This is some really good information here that I think is going to help you understand what it takes for you to be successful at Amazon if you really start this process, okay? So now we're getting on with the fourth mistake, okay? So I would say mistake is, I wouldn't say this is necessarily a mistake. I would say that I still have a lot of learning to do. And in Amazon FBA, you're going to continue learning. And if you're not continuing to learn every day, you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? You gotta make sure you're continuing to absorb information, the things that can be beneficial to your business. But you gotta focus also, okay? If you focus on so many things, you're not gonna get anything done. So with this fourth mistake I would say I made was making sure my listing is optimized to its fullest, okay? I did have amazing pictures. I had professional photography pictures done, photography done for my photos, okay? I had majority of the keywords that are important in my listings there, but there was a couple things that I didn't refine and or were not knowledgeable and didn't use, okay? So one of the things is your title. Granted, I did have an optimized title, but I could have optimized it just a little bit more, okay? So this is a good follow-up and a segue from PPC, because every sale that you get on your listing is going to help you rank for these very important search terms and keywords. And if you don't have those keywords in your listing, guess what? Your sales are not going to attribute to that authority and that weight for the keyword you're trying to rank for. There's many advanced tactics, there's a lot of information out there, and this is just really a summary of the things that you need to pay attention to so you can get your mindset correct. But your title is very, very important on how you're going to appear in search and what you're going to rank for. So, quick tip, you want to make sure that you have your most important keywords in the front of your title. Okay, this is all over YouTube with all the gurus and other people and sellers. You have to make sure your most important keywords are in the front of your title. Okay, so what this does is when you're running PPC and when you're getting organic sales, every sale that you get is going to help attribute and gain rank for that particular search term. This doesn't mean this is going to get you to the first place in 10 sales. No, you have to understand what your competitors are doing and what they're selling every day. But every sale that you get is going to help you rank, okay? And so when you understand this, now you know what keywords you need, you know how to build your listing, and then you're not wasting any space and you're making sure that every sale that you have is attributing to the success of your business and your product. There's also back-end keywords, and these are very important also. They don't hold as much weight as what's on your detail page in some cases as far as your title and maybe your bullet points, but these are going to help Amazon identify what your product and your listing is, okay? And if you don't have that identified, then Amazon is not going to be able to place you in the right spots, all right? So you got to make sure that you put all the good keywords, the most important keywords, in your back end, okay? And making sure you optimize your listing for those and making sure that you're relevant for those particular keywords. So you make sure you're indexed. Quick tip, index just means that this particular search term and keyword is relevant to your listing. So for example, garlic press. If I'm selling a stainless steel garlic press needs to be indexed for me. I need to show up when people search for garlic press, or at least have Amazon think that my product is a garlic press. Okay, that's what it needs to index, and there's a lot of tools you can use to check and make sure that you index for these particular things, okay? So that's very important, guys. Listing optimization is one of the most important things up here, okay? And so if you don't have these things, you will not succeed on Amazon FBA, all right? So we're almost done. We're getting to the last point, so let's get to it. All right, guys, the last and fifth mistake that I've made that has hurt my business instead of helped my business, okay? This is really important here. So one of the things that happened to my product that was very successful, actually, I was selling about 20-25 units a day. I was doing $13 profit per unit. So I was killing it with this product. I loved it, okay? But one of the things that was wrong was that it was a seasonal product. And you need to make sure you understand seasonality. Now, having seasonality is not wrong, you know, and this is a good tactic you can go after. You can go after seasonal products if that's the business model that you want to have. But for this particular product, I was thinking, oh, it can be seasonal, but it will sell throughout the year. False. Make sure you understand the seasonality of your particular product. If it's a summer product, or if it's a winter product, or if it's a gifting product, etc., you need to make sure you understand that, because if you're trying to push this product during an off season, you're going to spend a lot of money and waste money trying to rank the product or get visibility or PPC, etc. So there's no point really in trying to push a summer product heavily during the fall. And I made that mistake, guys. So I'm thinking, oh, the sales volume is going to decrease, but I still should be able to get this and that. Well, it turns out for that particular, my main search term for this particular product, there were some winter items in there and also summer items in there, which are their similar products. So during the summer, more of their summer stuff started to come up on the first page, but during the winter, those summer things started to fall from that search term on the first page. On all the winter accessories for that particular search term started to rise, okay? And I was thinking, oh no, I'm losing rank. I need to make sure I stay on the first page or else I'm not gonna get sales. But that's not how it works, guys. You just gotta make sure that you're relevant for that search term and it's a relevant season also. So seasonality is key. Make sure you search your trends. So quick tip here, go to Google Trends, type in your main search term, not garlic press, stainless steel professional, something like that, but make it a little bit more generic, like the high level one, like garlic press, okay? It's gonna cover all the variations under that. And you're gonna see whether or not there's spikes in that particular chart, okay? So if, for example, in the summer, it just spikes up and then the search volume is like 25 or less on the index for Google, then that's not something that you want to sell during the winter, okay? And vice versa, if it's like kind of flat most of the year and only spikes during Christmas, maybe it's one of those seasonal holiday things that are during the holiday season that, like a Santa Claus hat or something like that. Those are very seasonal items. Santa Claus hat's not going to sell during Valentine's. It's not going to really sell during the summer, okay? It's not going to sell in Christmas in July either. Bad joke. But you need to make sure that you understand the seasonality, okay? You can't push Christmas gifts for Halloween, or you can't push Christmas gifts during the summer, or New Year's for that matter. It's over, okay? So make sure you understand seasonality, because this will help you identify when you need to source your product in time and when you can sell the product and push your product and help rank. Now, one of the things about a seasonal product, since I was selling a summer product, you want to make sure you have it in enough time so you can start re-ranking, okay, for that particular search term or that main keyword in the spring. So when the summer comes, boom, you're at the top of the list, you're getting those sales, you're going to have a lot of authority for that search term, and you're going to kill it for that particular season. All right, guys? So those are the 5 mistakes that I've made that would have benefited my business if I understood them a little bit earlier when starting Amazon FBA. Anyways, guys, I enjoyed being your instructor for the session. Subscribe, smash that like button if you like the information. Comment below if there's any more information that you want me to kind of expand on or expound on, etc. But I definitely enjoyed it, and I see you in the next session. Later, guys.